and 4. The battle is on. It's going to be too close to call side by side. Long Joe gets it. Oh, we got contact. We got flips. We got big wrecks here going back to the front because we're racing back to the line.
William Page with the victory.
Looking for second here.
Musa's gonna.
Oh, he's going to use that apron.
He's going to use the apron.
They're going to be side by side. Coming off the corner. Boy, back to the inside. It's going to be a drag race to the line. Tom Musa gets it.
Tom Musa, where did he come from?
Boyer trying to close the gap. He's going to get to the bumper. Oh, just barely did not make it. And coming off of turn 4, Jeff Stekenis is going to win it at Dover.
Before I wrap things up here in this segment, your thoughts on the type of race we're going to see tonight? And I would have to agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Watkins Glen International Road Course for tonight's feature presentation of the Bomb Squad Racing Truck Series. As always, I'm your host, JoeTowNetwork. Alongside me tonight, once again, a road course specialist, Mr. Tommy Bordeaux.
Well, howdy, Joe. Hey, everybody at home. Welcome to the Watkins Glen International Road Course here tonight. This track has seen its fair share of different vehicles driving around here, from Trans Am to sports cars to NASCAR, IndyCar, and back in the day, Formula One. One of the most prestigious circuits on the American racing scene. It's the Watkins Glen International Road Course.
And of course, we're running the short course, not running the boot here tonight, folks, but it is nonetheless going to be a very exciting race. You're not going to want to miss a second of it. You're not going to want to type anything into that search bar up above this video. And folks, this of course is our Bomb Squad Racing Truck Series race preview presented by our friends at CircleBdiecast.com. Make sure you use code JTN at checkout for free shipping on your order of $20 or more. Qualifying has just begun. Drivers getting called to their trucks, even though the racetrack PA said cars. Tommy, I know sometimes it's a little confusing for us even up here in the booth.
Yeah, I think the PA announcer has a one-size-fits-all kind of script out there. But hey, nonetheless, trucks here at Watkins Glen, you know, in the real-world racing scene, trucks going back to the Glen for the first time in a long time, and with no practice or qualifying, that should be quite the scene to watch, as will be the race tonight, I'm sure.
Yeah, and those truckers over there have a little less respect for each other than these boys here tonight at Bomb Squad Racing. But of course, we're going to run 36 laps tonight. We're doing it we're doing that again tomorrow night with the Up Series, and then doing it again Friday night with the Xfinity Series, all here at Watkins Glen. 36 laps around this pretty much 2.5 mile, 2.45 mile road course, 70 degrees, so it's cool enough. You're going to, you know, these drivers, it seems like when we're going stock car racing on these road courses, Tommy, is sometimes, you know, that age-old saying that the driver has to stay cool, not just physically, but mentally. That's kind of started to creep its way into road course racing and when we're in these stock cars.
Oh, exactly. If you're fighting for the win in the last corner, you don't want to be too aggressive and say go around or something like that. You got to keep your wits about you. One very important part about road course racing, sometimes you just got to race the track. Don't worry about the cars around you. You just got to, you know, race what's in front of you, stay on the pavement, because that's going to be your fastest way around, of course. But also, you know, stay out of trouble doing that as well.
Exactly. Light field here tonight with the truckers on the road course. A couple of... not as many brave souls. Don't blame them for that, because not all of us can be specialists like you, Tommy. But a very special thank you to Zach Rogers for helping put on the show here tonight. He's going to be giving it a go in that number 9. I believe it's a Ram here at his home track, so that'll be a story to watch all throughout the night. It was the quickest in opening practice. It just wrapped up a few minutes ago. Remember, folks, if you're new to JTN, you're going to want to make sure you hit that like button on the video, because that helps, and that kind of gives the algorithm an idea that you like what we do. But then if you hit subscribe, you won't miss a second of any of the action here on JTN. Click that little bell, you'll be notified anytime we go live or new content is posted. Again, we're going live tomorrow night, and then we're going live Friday night, so you're not going to want to miss any of those races. They're all going to be live only here on JTN. And again, a special thanks to all of our sponsors, CircleDiecast.com, PWB, Garden Lights Direct, AutoSim, which beta is out now. So just a bunch of great sponsors we have here on JTN. M2 Designs on Twitter, Spider Fire Trey Hines on Twitter. Bunch of great partners we have here on JTN. And go check them all out. Can't thank you folks enough. Almost to 650 subs. That's right, tiny person. We are inching ever so closely, aren't we, Tommy?
Sure are, and boy, that's a fun milestone to hit. We talked about it a little bit last night, and either we hit it tonight or you and Ricky hit it in the next couple of days, I'm sure.
I hope so.
We'll get there, and again, I appreciate all the support from the viewers at home. As qualifying is wrapping up, about a minute and a half left in the session, this Watkins Glen track is pretty unique as far as road courses go. Usually when you think about road course racing, no matter what the car is, it's more of a technical challenge. Maybe a lot of slow corners, not too much in the way of straightaways, especially long ones, maybe one on the track, maybe two, but Watkins Glen has a lot of straightaways, and they're connected by some quite fast corners and treacherous ones as well, such as the S's going up the hill in turns 2 and 3.
Yeah, how do you manage those high? Heck, it's lit. Compared to, we went to Sonoma earlier this year with the Cup cars here at Bomb Squad. How does this track compare? Because it's a lot faster, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's a completely different animal. Like I mentioned with the long straightaways, you got a long front stretch, you got a back stretch, you've got a third back stretch almost really after the carousel. There's a lot of differences between this and Sonoma. Sonoma's one of those tracks with the S's down the hill and the tight hairpin to finish the lap that it's really more of a technical challenge. This one is about going as fast as you can, slinging it around, flying into corners, and trying to make whatever moves you can around the guy in front of you.
And you just might run him over, you might run into him, and he's not going to be ever so pleased with you. But folks, again, qualifying should be wrapping up here anytime now. We'll get all of these drivers. We'll have a starting lineup for you right now. Zach Rogers, hometown hero, looking good to get the pole here tonight as qualifying has concluded. Tommy, why don't you take us through tonight's starting lineup?
Well, like you mentioned, Joe, it's the hometown hero, Zach Rogers, on the pole in the 9 truck. He set a great time of a 1:12.397, 4/10 ahead of Ricky J in second place. That's your front row tonight, Joe. Kilojoules in third with Monte Keller in fourth. Those two make up your second row. Third row on the inside, BSR Magoo in the 144 and BSR Chevy Chase in the 096 car. That's row 3. Back in row 4 right now, Silver Bullet in the 4 truck with Terry Scott in the 66 to his outside. Rounding out the top 10 in our starting lineup, it's Greg Lovell in the 088 and Brain Fade on his outside. Furco, Nelly, Eli 114, Bob Sire, and Andrew Miller rounding out the rest of your starting lineup here with the field of 15 trucks ready to do battle at Watkins Glen.
And of course, folks, this was our Circle B Diecast race preview. Make sure you use code JTN at checkout for free shipping on your order of $20 or more. There's the pole sitter, Zach Rogers.
Fast in practice, like you mentioned, and it transferred over to qualifying. Sometimes, a guy will get in his head almost. He sees how fast he is compared to the rest of the field and maybe makes a crucial mistake on his qualifying run. Zach Rogers tonight, not the case. He puts that thing on pole.
How do you manage that behind the wheel? You got a good piece. You have the driving talent to do really well here tonight. But how do you manage that ego behind the wheel?
Well, I find that really difficult at times, Joe, as I'm sure you can imagine. So oftentimes you gotta, don't get inside your head too much. Just chill, take the race as it comes. And remember, you got plenty of laps to get stuff done. Even if you slide back a spot or two in the front at the start of the race, it's not the end of the world for you. Being at the front's great, but you don't have to be there from lap 1 and turn 1 to win the thing. You can take your time, make sure you get that truck home to the finish, because that's where the winner's going to come from.
And we see track position means so much in any online race, at any track. It seems like no matter what league we go to, track position is always key. And if you lose it early, it's a little bit better than losing it late. So that it goes back to that point of, you lose a couple spots here, first couple laps, you make a little mistake, don't worry about it, don't sweat it, you can get it back, you got plenty of time. It's when you make those mistakes late that you really got to start to worry.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a great point. Early mistakes, not too big of a deal, especially when we got 36 laps around this joint. Now, that number on paper may not sound like too much, but consider when these lap times are over a minute long. Minute 12, of course, is our pull time. So definitely a long race, longer than meets the eye, and plenty of time for things to go right, but also plenty of times for things to go wrong as well.
Many things can go wrong in a given lap here. I feel like it's a little more than your typical oval.
Well, it depends about how many turns you consider this track to be. Some people consider it different than others, but as far as the game's concerned, there's 11 turns, so that puts about 11 different things to go wrong on each lap.
And we're gonna catch them all here live on JTN tonight. Make sure if you feel so inclined, be a friend, tell a friend about our broadcasts here. Can't thank you enough again for all your support, all the shares we get on the videos, live streams, whatever it may be, all the likes on our social media posts. Make sure you're following us on Twitter and Facebook, and TikTok. Don't know why we're on there, but we are. So make sure you follow us on all those platforms, and to keep up with us here on JTN, and also you get a couple extra little nuggets. You would have known it was Tommy's birthday this past weekend, and hey, you know, always.
I appreciated that shout out on Twitter, Joe, from the JTN account. That was very nice to see.
To all,
a
like,
nice surprise.
To all like 50 of our followers.
Hey, that's 50 more than 0.
That's true.
I'll tell you what, I did the math, Joe.
Yeah.
I crunched the numbers. With 11 turns around this place, 36 laps, that's 396 opportunities for mistakes. You factor in pit stops, and that number is probably well over 400, which is quite daunting if you look at it in that perspective.
I mean, you can. Still
I'm not going to tell any of these drivers.
Hey, you can still make mistakes.
That's a fair point.
Always be infinite.
I guess. But then, Joe, you talk about, the whole problem of cutting things in half. They can always be cut in half.
You run into the limits.
Right. Eventually,
yep.
Quantum physics decides that we've gone too far.
Right.
Yeah.
And we proved that with our calculus. And I'm not looking forward to going back to university in just under a month. There's Silver Bullet in the 4 Crown Royal Chevrolet Silverado. Monty Keller right behind him.
But I'll tell you what, I'm actually looking forward to it big time because I get to go back to real classes.
That's true.
More of this online garbo. But at the same time, hopefully. At the same time, it's also the final quarter. So, I mean, I guess the light's at the end of the tunnel for me. So that helps.
That's nice. Kids go to college. Or don't. Whatever you want to do. Do what you want to do. Go where you want to go. I think that's the message, right? Is that our state-sponsored message here tonight, Bristol?
I don't know. I mean, not to get too off track or anything, but
never get off track.
No, well, you don't want to because here you'll be in the grass most likely.
Right. But they have done a good job of giving you good asphalt runoff room.
Life is not noble. It's not that simple. It's much more like a road course. Twists and turns everywhere you go. And these drivers are going to have to face it firsthand. Zach Rogers had a great happy hour session as well, almost matching his time that he won the pole with, just a few tenths off, but still would have been good for pole, even with that time. So I'll tell you what, that 9 truck, that'll be the one to watch tonight, I think, Joe.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty safe bet you gave yourself there. Looking at, I don't know, negative 500.
Drivers.
So if he wins, give more money away?
No. If he wins, to win $100, you would have to bet $500.
Oh goodness.
You get your 500, and then you get 100 back on top, so you'd get 600 if you won.
That also seems like a good way to lose $500.
Yeah, it's not a smart bet. Never bet big favorites, folks. Never bet big favorites. Not gambling advice. Get ready to hear the command to start these engines. I'm now realizing.
Drivers, start your engines!
There it is. Listen to those puppies purr. Field rolls off here at Watkins Glen. Zach Rogers, Ricky J making up row number 1. And it's KJ and Monty Keller in row numero 2. Row 3 is comprised of Magoo and Chevy Chase. Row 4 is going to be Silver Bullet and Terry Scott. Greg Lovell and Brain Fade make up row number 5, rounding out your top 10. Then it's Nelly and Bob Sire, the 27, making up row number 6. Eli 114 rounds out your field here tonight. 13 tough truckers around the Watkins Glen International field makes their way up through the S's. It's a long pace lap here, folks, so I gotta stretch these things out very, 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 very far.
Joe, I'm looking on the monitor. It looks like you got yourself a red and black Ford Pace truck out there. I've still got the blue one. So, man, you talk about rose-tinted glasses. I don't know what you'd classify this as. Something completely different. I know that much.
Are we going for a
three wide salute.
Look at that. Magnificent.
That was KJ. Coming up alongside of our pole sitter, Zach Rogers, there on the back straightaway. Now they want to go single file through here. Not only during the race, but through pacing laps as well.
Nah.
Although they're going side by side.
They got it. Nice and easy. Folks, we're going for 36 around Watkins Glen tonight. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Well, who am I kidding? You're here on JTN. Of course you're subscribed. Why wouldn't you watch if you're... You know, why would you watch if you weren't subscribed? Zach Rogers going to lead them to green here. I mean, all the fans waving their hands at these drivers. Tommy, are you ready? It's just, you get this whole pace lap and like the anticipation, it just really, really builds.
Well, yeah, it's one thing when you start towards the end of the field, usually about here, when we're not running a full pace lap. This time, I mean, you've got to go all the way around, and the nerves build, the tension builds, and you're finally almost there. You're just hoping that everything goes well in turn 1, because your race, you know, often isn't made in turn 1, but boy, it sure can be broken.
You're just really hoping that everyone's brake lines, they're still hooked up, you know?
Absolutely, and also that the guy in front of you's braking point is reasonable, and that you're ready for if they brake early, because it can be very sketchy down there, especially with all these trucks side by side like this, to find some room. And I'll tell you what, a lot of variety as far as braking points go into these turns. Should be quite interesting to see what happens here. The Pacers truck is down pit road, Joe. We're all about ready to go.
We are ready to go. Our truck's coming up and over the hill. Zach Rogers leading them to green. He waits to see that green flag displayed. There it is. Green flag. We're underway from Watkins Glen.
Well, a great start from Zach Rogers, as well as KJ. He's looking to the inside of Rogers down in turn 1. Late braking from that 029 truck. Oh, he's inside, but he's not going to get the spot just yet. Rogers fights back on the outside and keeps the lead.
They come up through the S's, single file through here this time around. Double wide's going to be a little bit tricky, but everyone makes it up the hill.
Boy, on cold tires, that can be a really dangerous spot. On worn tires, it is as well. You get awfully loose pretty easy around there. Here comes the bus stop for the first time tonight under green flag conditions. A really fast set of corners right there. You can see those trucks just slinging around there, bouncing off the curbs as they head into the carousel.
I was going to say, Tommy, when they go through the bus stop, they try to make it as straight as they can. Can't do that there through the carousel. Top 3 have broken away from the rest of the field. Caution is out for the first time tonight. Monty Keller around in the carousel. Let's see what happened.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is maybe started in the bus stop We'll have to see and take a look at our replay.
Looks like he hits that curb exiting the bus stop, upsets that truck. And then he's just trying to catch it all the way through the entrance of the carousel, hits the inside curbing, and, well, it's on from there.
Yeah, luckily no contact with that wreck right there, but that's just a driver going through the bus stop trying to get everything they can, and it's very easy if you get off just a little bit and get onto a curb and you're trying to save that truck. That carousel isn't very forgiving, and it's all too easy to spin out there, but lucky for him, of course, no damage or contact after that incident.
Well, I'm going to my bag of questions that I use way too much. Early caution, right? You had all the jitters, coming to green, and now you're gonna have to do it again. Any worry here now that you got about a lap on the tires for a restart?
Not really. I mean, if I'm Zach Rogers, I'm going to pay attention to the kind of restart that Kilojoules is going to get here. He had a great green flag start. Now, this, I think, will be something that's in Zach Rogers' mind as they head towards turn one again. And also on what line you decide to take. You know, he didn't really defend that inside where KJ was, but maybe this time he might do that.
Yeah, I don't think he was ready for that move that early. But you gotta always be ready. What did you say? 396 opportunities for something to go wrong here tonight?
Just about.
Yeah.
Luckily now under yellow, there's not much more of an opportunity than if there was a green flag racing going on. So you're getting lucky here. That's shaving a few off.
Chances of a mistake go down when you're under yellow and you're going a little bit slower.
Absolutely. We're about 40 miles an hour around this joint, which really takes quite a bit of time there. That pace truck in front, I bet the driver's at least having the ride of his life. Going 40 miles an hour in a truck like that or on a track like this. I've gone around this place in real life in a Chrysler Sebring that my dad was driving when I was a little kid. I'll tell you what, that was a ride and a half in that.
I was gonna say those cars are they're fun.
You would know.
Yeah. Chryslers are fun. I like my car.
We definitely had a PT Cruiser as a rental car at one point as well.
Oh yeah, I think they were everywhere. They're kind of like the Kia Soul of the early 2000s, you know.
Well, it could be worse. It could be a Nissan Altima, and then you just have that,
Nissan smell.
People know. And if you drive an Altima, you're doing 150 on the highway with no regard for anyone else.
There was a guy in my high school graduating class, and I got pulled over one day coming back from school because I was trying to go around a semi truck, and anyways, not the point. And he's like, "Oh yeah, did you get pulled over there?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I did." He's like, "Oh yeah, I always go like 80 miles per hour down that road, and I never get." Next day, oh, I got a ticket. Can you guess what kind of car he drove?
Nissan Altima.
He did.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yes, sir.
We'll get the one to green at a awkward spot here on the road course, so we'll keep an eye on that for you. But right now, pit stops. Bunch of guys coming down. Tommy, I didn't go down to our toolbox there on pit road to see exactly, but what are we looking at for fuel mileage here tonight?
Well, we're going to be starting the race with 20 laps in the tank estimated. Now, that's probably going to go down a little bit, depending on how these drivers drive, but it should still just be a one-stop race if we split it in the middle, lap 18 or so, maybe lap 19 when these guys come down to pit road. If we had gone green all the way, I like the move of staying out. A couple of these guys sit out, Chevy Chase, Silver Bullet, and of course our leader Zach Rogers did as well. I think it's a good move. Track position's important here. There's no reason to put yourself back in the hornet's nest, and having only done pretty much one green flag lap, I think it's a smart move just to stay out here. No reason to come on in.
Well, and road courses have you have the opposite idea of when you want to pit, right? You never want to pit under green on an oval, unless you're running through the cycle, right? Because you have all these consequences where caution comes out, you get trapped in lap down. You're on the road course, that's a lot less likely to happen. So you want to make your pit stops on a road course under green. It's more efficient than doing it under caution because passing is going to be a premium tonight.
Yeah, I would say there's definitely advantages to a well-timed yellow for you if you're
Yeah.
on pit road while it comes out, but ultimately, yeah, the advantage that you're going to get from, you know, or sorry, excuse me, disadvantage you're going to get from pitting out a bad time with a yellow coming out is not the same with a road course compared to an oval, especially just with the length of the tracks as well as the less frequent, usually, yellow flag conditions.
Race truck lights are out. We're going to go back green this time at the line for lap number 4 of 36. Completion of that will be a ninth of the way through this one. Zach Rogers, Chevy Chase, row number 1, Silver Bullet, Terry Scott. Then Greg Lovell rounding out your top 5. KJ at 029, he's going to be there in 6th. Then Eli, Magoo, Nelly, Brain Fade rounding out your top 10. Bob Sire, Ricky J, Monty Keller, and Furco rounding out the rest of your field. A 14. I misspoke earlier. I said 13. It's 14.
One extra there.
Like when you get that extra nugget.
Furco, 2 laps down at the moment. I believe he started the race from pit lane. I think he's going to receive one of those laps back as the lucky dog for the first incident here. So 14. You were right at 13. It may have started traditionally, but now with the addition of Furco, we're up to 14 trucks here.
When nobody's got my back, I know Tommy's got my back, folks. Pace truck gonna make that hard left turn down the pit lane here. Not as hard as it typically would be, but he's gonna scoot down there nonetheless. Zach Rogers gonna have control here on the restart on the bottom. Gonna hopefully not be 3 wide going into turn 1 this time on the restart. They come over the hill. Back down and away we go. Green flag once again from Watkins Glen.
Well, a good start for Zach that time. Doesn't have any pressure from the inside. He's gonna, get a little bit from the outside there. Chevy Chase, hard on the brakes, but almost gets into the side of Zach Rogers on entry.
There's a gaggle of trucks back there. KJ back up into 4th. He gets around Terry Scott, entrance of the S's. Side by side through the S's, that looks like it's Nelly and Monty Keller further on back, but Zach Rogers, he's extending his lead.
Yeah, and Ricky J trying to get around Eli back there. He's going to get him on the back straightaway here, heading into the bus stop. A lot of shuffling going on, especially with some drivers staying out. A lot pitting right here. Zach Rogers, and we got another yellow, Joe.
And we got a game crash, so we'll be right back here on JTN.
Well, folks, we're under caution for the second time tonight. It was an incident involving the 114 BSR Eli going into the bus stop. Gets a little loose there on entry and goes around, hops over some curbs, and washes out into the runoff area. Lucky for him, no damage against a wall or anything like that. He'll continue. But nonetheless, that's going to bring out our second yellow of the night here at Watkins Glen. Looking back at the replay, Joe, some different angles. Looks like you got a little bit of contact there from Nelly in the 103.
No love lost there then, huh? I kid. Yeah, I don't...
The bus stop, we've talked about different braking points, especially on restarts, but the bus stop of pretty much all of the corners in NASCAR, oval or road course, doesn't matter. I gotta say, the bus stop has got quite the range of braking points and ways to drive it that you see a lot of incidents like that quite often.
And I mean, there's nothing you can do as the driver, right? You got different braking points. Those curves, you have to absolutely attack them through the bus stop to get through there with enough speed so you don't lose time. I mean, it's a lot trickier than it looks, I think, on than it looks on TV. But nonetheless, these guys, they're not giving up. They're going to keep attacking it all night long.
Yeah, and good news, even though we've had 2 cautions so far, both of the trucks involved, no significant damage to either. So that's always a good sign. We have started with the original field, and we continue with it thus far. Furco again will be able to get the lucky dog, so he should be back on the lead lap, which is great to see.
Great to see for that Jags Dodge Ram. And here at Bomb Squad, you got moderate damage with open setup too. So everyone in theory should be comfortable with the setup they have underneath them. But Tommy, I know that's probably not always the case.
Yeah, it really depends here, and you may be wondering what kind of things can you do to a setup to make it good on road courses. You know, obviously with the wedge, you know, you typically the thought would be to balance it out so it's in the middle to help you on both left and right hand corners. But here at Watkins Glen, the majority of turns are right-handers, so that can play into how you set up the car, maybe just a little bit asymmetrically, but you can do a lot with track bar, raising that up. So and tire pressures as well. Everything, all the adjustments still do the same things. Just usually you see a lot of the more symmetrical style setups here.
What are you a fan of?
I can't tell you and give away too many racer secrets, but on my Watkins Glen setups, there's just a touch of asymmetry built into it to help around those right-hand turns.
Thanks for nothing, Tommy. Thanks for nothing.
Well, Zach Rogers looks like he's going to be pitting from the lead here unless he fakes. Nope, he's going to come on in. So the leader pitting right here, and given that we haven't run too far on green flag conditions, I'm a little surprised, to be honest with you, Joe.
Yeah, I'm, like you said, if you only really need to have to make one pit stop, don't have a lot of time on those tires. And we've talked about track position being king in online racing, sim racing, especially with shorter events, right? It's not like we're running 90 laps here tonight. I don't know. Maybe it's that, I remember a couple drivers always said, oh, I'm going to go to the back so I can have some fun, and then they don't have fun.
Yeah, no, that's scary to do, because you never know what you're going to get. I mean, you just saw that incident right there. Drivers getting into each other in a bus stop with a variety of braking zones. So, yeah, kind of scary to do something like that. Not to play armchair crew chief too much, Joe, but I really like staying out here because that's going to enable you to not just maintain your track position, but also with all these laps you're running under yellow and you're saving gas throughout those, you're going to push back that time you got to pit until much later, in which case there's really going to be no question you'll make it on fuel just fine if you pit on, say, lap 20.
There it is. Armchair crew chief. Silverbolt, only guy that hasn't pit yet here tonight. KJ gonna line up there in second. Should see those pace truck lights go off momentarily if I did my thinking correctly. Oh no, we got a lap truck, extra lap. Nope, never mind. Look at me, Tommy. How many times have I second guessed myself tonight?
Well, a couple, even some before the broadcast. So.
So we line up like this. Silverbolt, Kilojoules, row number 1. Greg Lovell, Magoo, row 2. Row 3 is going to be Ricky J and Monty Keller, who was involved in that first incident. Row 4, Bob Slayer, Zach Rogers. Rogers going to be lining up in the 8th position here. Chevy Chase, Terry Scott. Round out your top 10. It's going to be Eli, Brainfade, Furco, and Nelly, the way we're going to line up here for the restart. Coming at you, coming to lap 7 of 36.
Definitely keep an eye on that 9 truck of Zach Rogers after pitting. See how he makes his way up through the field. We know he's got the fastest truck out here. Was great in qualifying and practice and happy hour. But now, for the first time, he's going to have to deal with some traffic in front of him. And it's always a challenge to navigate through that. I know it can be frustrating sometimes, Joe. You feel like, and you know that you've got the best truck out here, but you've got a bunch of guys to get through first.
It goes back to that you gotta be calm behind the wheel. You don't push it right now because you don't want to push it so much that you're gonna run into somebody, you're gonna run somebody over. You have to think these guys, they're gonna give them room knowing how fast that 9 truck is. They're gonna give them the proper room, the proper space, but nobody's gonna lay over for you here in Bomb Squad Racing.
No, it's racing hard to the checkered flag, certainly. got to get every spot you can right now. I like Silver Bullet staying out. I think he's in a good spot. If he can get a good restart, he'll be in good shape. But, of course, you got to watch out for KJ, because speaking of restarts, he's been on them so far tonight. There goes the pace truck once again. We're about to rise over that hill and fall down the other side under green flag conditions here shortly.
Fans are on their feet. They wait for that green cloth to be displayed out there on the flag stand. Down and back away we go. Green flag once again from Watkins Glen.
Really good start for KJ right there. He was on it. He's got an advantage into turn number 1, deeper on the brakes than Silver Bullet, and he's going to use that eye line to his advantage and take the lead.
Monster truck's going to be side by side coming up the hill. First pair, it's Greg Lovell and Magoo back there for third. Lovell going to get it now. Ricky J looking for fourth on Magoo.
Ricky J making those moves through the S's as well as Lovell. That's a tough place to pass, especially on a restart there. How about Zach Rogers? He's making some moves too. He's up a couple spots on the restart, back inside of the top 5.
He's right there in fifth, going down into the bus stop. We were side by side for a second. Monty Keller goes and gives up the positioning. 66 Terry Scott. Ricky J going on by Lovell through the carousel. Zach Rogers going to follow on through, so they move up to third and fourth respectively.
Well, we were wondering about Zach Rogers. Here he is on the inside of Ricky J now. We talked about knowing he had the fastest truck. How is he going to make his way through traffic? Well, Joe, the answer to that question, very well so far. Just 2 more spots and he's back in the lead. But speaking of the lead, KJ is way out in front at this point.
Silver Bullet into the wall off of turn number 11. Rogers gets on by for second, so in 1 lap he went from 8th to 2nd, but now he has to set his sights on the leader, Villajules, he's out to a pretty big lead.
Yeah, that 2.5 second about advantage, that's what track position can do to you. Zach Rogers had a lot of trucks to get through, and that's going to cost you time. About 1.5 seconds behind from KJ in lap times that last time by, so that really just shows you where starting up front can be an advantage.
We know Rogers is the quickest guy here tonight, so if you're KJ, you know he's gonna be there eventually. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Because that 9 just has a whole different animal with the setup, it seems like. What do you do behind the wheel to kind of delay that for as long as you can?
Well, you've got to minimize mistakes. Certainly from a anecdotal point of view, having a red and white 99 behind me driven by Brandon Hawken at Watkins Glen, there's not many more things in sim racing as intimidating as that. You just got to hang on and minimize your mistakes, hit your marks, try not to think about it as much as you can. But that can often be quite difficult. That time by a 1:13.690 for KJ, 1:12.866 for Zach Rogers. He's flying out here.
2/10 that time. We're going to watch the battle for third. Greg Lovell all over the tailgate of the 4 Silver Bullet for that position. Silver Bullet started on pole position for that restart. He's falling back to third, but doing a good job of kind of holding his ground right now, up through the S's.
Looks like some transponder issues in the 93 of Ricky J. That's a heartbreaker. He was up in the top 5 running well.
How do you go to the garage after that? Like, you're angry, right? When that happens.
Absolutely. Do all this preparation. It seemed like he had a pretty fast machine out there. Second in qualifying, second in practice. Knew he had a good piece, and with an incident like that takes you off the track against your will, it's pretty difficult to deal with. Nonetheless, back up front, KJ and Zach Rogers lead the way as the 3rd caution of the night comes out at Watkins Glen.
Wait, see. Oh, well, we can't get her.
I am doing my best to look around. I don't know yet. And it honestly might have been a debris caution or something of that sort. Those can happen.
Oh. Found it. Going down into turn number 9. Silver Bullet getting on the binders. Lovell also getting on the binders. Silver Bullet goes around, gets T-boned there. Nowhere for Lovell to go.
Hey, but Lovell straightened them out. You know, if those officials weren't so quick to call the yellow flag, we'd still be going.
I'm gonna say I don't think anyone's too worse for wear there.
No, and neither of them lost a spot, in fact. But either way, we are under caution for the third time tonight. Now would be a point where I would definitely consider pitting if I hadn't yet. Not many drivers can say that. I don't think anyone has stayed out the entire length yet. I think now you pit and you split the final segment in half, I think. Just because we're almost a third of the way through this thing. You might as well.
What happened there with the 4? Was it wheel hop?
Yeah, you know, just getting kind of hot into the corner, and when that rear end steps out, it's hard to catch it due to the weight balance that you might be running with your setup at this track. So oftentimes, you know, you want that thing to be loose and to let that rear hang out at an oval, but it's hard at a road course, especially swapping all of your weight from left to right in these corners.
You don't like going back and forth, right? The truck, car, whatever it may be, just doesn't like those erratic movement. But we like them because they give us good racing.
No, they look cool too.
So Field will get the opportunity to come down the pit lane this time by, so we'll take note of who decides to come down pit road. Have to think the 088 and the 4 will definitely be takers back there in 4th and 5th. Chevy Chase actually got around those two. He moved up to 3rd. But not worse for wear for those two. That's kind of, I think that's what was confusing us trying to find that caution. It's just, they were still running right where they were.
Yeah, and they got righted so quickly too. I don't think there's going to be too much damage to either of them, either on the side of Silver Bullet or the nose of Lovell, because the hit wasn't too hard. It wasn't like they were getting together in the bus stop and flying into the outside wall or anything. No walls in that area out of turn 9 anyway, so I think everybody coming down pit road here, Joe, doesn't look like anybody stand out.
Everybody's a taker. Take. Ace Truck didn't come down pit road.
No, he didn't.
He decided to stay out.
He's on that alternate strategy. It always seems like when the yellow flag ends, he always comes in. I don't understand it. That might not be the best strategy to win.
Why not?
One thing I will mention now that everyone's on pit road, everyone's going to have to deal with this downhill pit lane in the second half of it. And Joe, that can bite you because if you're not careful, you'll speed and you don't even know you did. Just that natural momentum, gravity pulling you down that hill can make you go a couple miles an hour over the limit, and they'll ding you for it.
They will definitely ding you for it, I'll tell you.
And we've been there.
Are you a coast downhill guy when you're driving your everyday vehicle?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I throw that thing in neutral and let it coast. That's the beauty of the old Ford Ranger there. It does a good job. I'll tell you what, they don't make trucks like that anymore. I guess they make the Ranger again, I think. But not like they used to.
Nothing's like it. They don't make anything like they used to.
Boy, they sure don't.
Ah. Field coming down the back straightaway. Should see those lights go off on the pace truck. And there they go. Get ready to go back. Green flag racing. AJ gonna have control. He's choosing the outside. That's a little peculiar. Zach Rogers gonna line up in second. Chevy Chase, Greg Lovell, Monty Keller, Magoo, Fergo, and Terry Scott. That's your top 8. Then Nelly and Eli rounding out your top 10. Brain Fade, Bob Sire, Silver Bullet. 13 of our 14 still remaining in this one. Ricky J retiring early after some transponder issues caused that 193 to have to pull it off the track and into the garage area. Unfortunate end to the night for the Voiles trucking Ford. nonetheless, we get ready to go back green this time. Still going to have to make a pit stop, folks, so get your scorecards out so that way you can keep track of when everyone comes down the pit lane, because once we get to about lap 16, 17, that's when the window opens, at least, even if it's just a little bit of just a little crack. Maybe not wide open to make it to the end of this race. Again, as Tommy previously stated, you're looking at about lap 20 to make sure you can make it to the end, so you're going to watch that all throughout the night. Zach Rogers going to have that preferred line going into the corner, but KJ he's going to control it. Rogers can't beat him back to the line, going to have to be careful. Doesn't get a black flag for beating the leader going before said leader. Great crowd on hand tonight here at Watkins Glen, as it always is, sold out for another weekend of racing. Like I said, we got Watkins Glen all over our schedule for the rest of the week, folks, and we're going to have Watkins Glen on the weekend, but nonetheless, this is what you want to see. You want me to shut up? You want these trucks to do all the talking? Pace truck pulls off down the pit lane, and we get ready to go. Green flag racing once again here from Watkins Glen. Down and away we go. Green flag.
I'll tell you what, another great start from KJ there on the outside. He's going to have a little bit of pressure from Zach Rogers on the inside. We'll see how they go through turn number 1. Rogers getting a nice advantage off the corner, but KJ using the momentum on the outside. They're side by side up through the S's.
Side by side through the S's. You don't want to see that. KJ going to have the preferred line on that last one. He clears Zach Rogers for the lead. Coming down the back straightaway.
If I'm Rogers, no real pressure to get around KJ on the restart. You figured that he would get a good one, and even though you're behind him at this point, shouldn't be anything to be too worried about. You saw how fast he was able to close on him during green flag race and lap, so he's just got to kind of stay calm right now. Don't make any mistakes. It's all good. You can get him back soon.
Is it a little different now with Lovell kind of all over the tailgate of that 9?
Yeah, and Lovell's pretty close, but he's the only really, competitor in that top 3 that's close by this battle for the lead. So, he's not too much of a factor. But here comes KJ way wide, and that's going to allow Zach Rogers to get back to the lead easily.
I think he got on those brakes just a little too hard, don't you think?
Yeah, maybe just a little bit too excited right there. Well, lucky for him, we've got that paved runoff on this version of Watkins Glen. It's not the same on iRacing.
It's not the same?
No, it's still dirt. It's still a kitty litter out there, and it is brutal.
Haven't updated Watkins Glen.
No, they haven't. They will soon.
Oh, of course.
Trademark.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. They've been saying that for years. So Zach Rogers, he's out to about, I don't know, what is that? Probably a second lead over Greg Lovell there in second. AJ, though, all over the tailgate of that 088. He's going to try to retake that second position down here into the bus stop. You see those different entrances, those different philosophies on how to attack that corner, Tommy. Which one do you like to maybe swing it out a little wide, or do you like to try to make it as straight as you can?
Oh, I try and keep it as straight as I can, and it all starts when you enter the bus stop. How you get through there, how well you get through there, all matters with the entry, because if you're able to get that truck or car or lawnmower, whatever you're driving, as close to that right side guardrail on entry as you can, that's where you want to be to enter the bus stop. That's going to allow you not just a straight path through, but it's going to give you the right angle on exit, not to overdrive it, and you'll be able to get on the gas much sooner without going on an excursion entering the carousel.
Not an excursion guy?
Not particularly. Not in race cars anyway. You don't want to be.
Battle heating up for second once again. KJ got to get to the inside of Lovell. I think he's just letting him have that position. So maybe not. He's going to drag race him for a second, but KJ gets on by for that second position.
Well, there's KJ using all of that curb on the right there. That's important to do, and he got through the bus stop great that time, pulled a little bit of a gap. Got some breathing room now to Lovell, but of course he's still a second and a half, 2 seconds even, behind Zach Rogers out front.
And he's watching that 9 truck get smaller and smaller out the windshield, and that's not the recipe to get to victory lane tonight, is it?
No, ideally, it's like the 9 car in real life and Chase Elliott. They have the Hendrick track attack, which basically lets them test for the race before the race. And say what you will about that, but I think maybe there's also just something with a 9-car at a road course. Marcos Ambrose, of course, made it famous as well in NASCAR.
Casey Kane won out at Sonoma.
Absolutely.
Well, Tommy, Bristol was he was outside today, and he caught the mailman, and he got himself a little mailbag. So this is our JTN mailbag. We got a question from Jonathan from Minnesota. What is the best method to save fuel? And is saving a legit strategy to maybe stretch it and catch a yellow?
Well, it's definitely a legit strategy because there's a lot of folks who make their living on Air 2003 with fuel saving and strategy calls. One, Ryan Pace comes to mind, especially with that. Now, there's things you can do on ovals like clutching it and letting off way early in the turns on entry to try and back your turns up and not use any brakes, so you're keeping your momentum but using less gas. So there's things you can do like that. But also, but at a road course, John, thanks for the question. You know, it's kind of similar. You want to let off early into the corners. With that, you can also use less brake as well. So you got to adjust your driving style just a little bit. But it's very possible. I've seen people save gas here at a road course, and maybe they only save, say, half a lap or so. But depending on how much fuel's in that car or truck, it can get you to the end of one extra lap over the competition that maybe has to pit one lap earlier, and it depends. I mean, that could be the difference maker.
A couple folks tuning in, checking in chat. Darren Ingram, hello, multi-time USORL winner, and Aussie Bill saying good day. Always, I love chatting with the chat, you know.
Absolutely. Well, hey, another question, that second part there from John, you know, from Minnesota. He said if that's a legit strat to try and stretch it and catch a yellow. At ovals, sure, absolutely. At a road course like this, even though we had 3 quick yellows to start the race, right now with the fields spread out as they are, closest battle for 4th right now, I would say it's probably less likely of a strategy to do.
The Goo right now running in 5th. Monty Keller's starting to gain some ground on that 144. Terry Scott there out back of your picture, resting over the hill. A good night for some of these guys that I don't think we're looking forward too much to the road course racing.
Yeah, you know, that's
Oh,
kind of...
no, Monty Keller around into the S's.
Uh-oh.
He did a pirouette. I believe caution's most likely out.
We do have a yellow, so there you go.
That one happened so quick I couldn't even really raise my voice.
And this is an interesting scenario, Joe, because this yellow comes up on lap 17. Not quite halfway yet. Jonathan from Minnesota, when they pit next time by, there's a good chance we're going to see some guys saving some fuel.
What happened there with Keller?
You know?
No, I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Well, you know, it's tough. That corner right there, I mean, he might have gotten offline on the exit of 1 and just kind of was trying to save the truck a little bit.
Did he maybe
Looks like-
downshift?
Yeah, you know, it could be. It looks like just such a violent whip around that he did. I think you're right, Joe. I think that might be a downshift right there.
Ugh. That's not good for the transmission or the engine.
No, and the body's not too happy either. That impact with the wall.
Moderate damage will help with that.
Indeed.
It looks okay. It'll buff out. Fire alarm services color. Always good looking truck there with Keller.
So we're going to pit at basically exactly the halfway mark, Joe. I think they should be able to make it to the end on fuel just fine, but if I'm these guys, I'm going to be saving fuel under the yellow flag conditions. That's going to be a lot of pushing in the truck, pushing in the clutch and letting the truck coast. Save every bit of gas you can for the end. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of that was a long run, right? We got about 10 laps in here. I don't know, with the way this race started with the 3 quick yellows and now with this caution number 4, it's the strategies are they're opening up. The door is opening. Like you said, I think it's gonna be it's pretty much you're gonna be able to make it to the end, but with a small field, say we run another 10 laps, Tommy, caution comes out around lap 30. Would you want to come down to take tires?
You know, I think so. I mean, if we get all the way to there, Joe, after 10 laps, I think that's reasonable, especially given how long the lap is here. You know, like you said, with lap 30, if you came in the pit, you come out with still 6 laps to go. That's a long way around here, just because of the length of the track. You know, there's still a lot of time left in a situation like that. So, yeah, I think I would pit in a situation like that. That is, of course,
if arises.
Right. It's there's a lot of ifs and depends with that one. Maybe if I was in the back and I wanted track position, I would stay out or maybe even take 2 tires. But
I've tried that before. It works.
Well, yeah. There's a lot of things you can do with that. But of course, we got to get there first.
I end up front with Brandon. You right behind me. Oh, that was not good on a road course. And then I had our buddy Weaver telling me he was just gonna wreck me, help me through the bus stop. And then he said, "Oh, I didn't do it." And I'm like, "Oh, thanks." Thought about it. Now he's employed by JTN to do Tommy's World. Set up the car, or is he a TWB employee?
You know, he is
kind of in that legal gray area.
Right. I'll call him an outside contractor. You know.
Okay.
Right. That helps me. You know, in case he were to file any lawsuits against my company, we can say,
right.
Well, you knew the risks.
Did he, though?
I don't know. Is this thing on right now? Are we live?
Like we said, entire field is going to come down the pit lane. Folks, keep those mailbag questions coming all throughout the night. Hard at work producing right now. You gotta have a Bristol can. Still can't.
That'd be pretty cool to have.
Lovell gets out of his box quick. I don't know. It might have been a virtual tie there coming off the pit lane. Looks like Rogers is going to get it. Then it's going to be KJ Lovell. Your top 3, Chevy Chase. Harry Scott. Nelly in the 103. There's Eli 114. Magoo, big loser on pit road. Silver Bullet. Monty Keller. Furco. Then Brain Fade going to be the last one off the pit lane. But he should be getting a lap back here, so, you know, win some, you lose some.
2 retirements tonight, Joe. The 193 of Ricky J, as well as the 27 of Bob Sire, are 2 out of this race so far. 12 remain in this event here tonight.
Out of 7 ain't bad. 7, so the field's still in here.
Hey, if you go 6 for 7 in baseball, you're a Hall of Famer. Well, more than a Hall of Famer.
You're probably cheating.
That too. You know, I was driving today and I had the radio on, and the Dan Patrick Show was on ESPN. And Joey Votto was on. You know, Joey Votto is a funny dude. That's all I had to say about that. I just thought he was funny.
He was mashing balls the last month.
Yeah, and how cool is that? You know, Joey Votto's a guy, he's been around the league a while. He's no spring chicken. Yet, he is having quite the career renaissance this year.
You know, and if you're a Cincinnati Reds fan like our good buddy Sean Whitehill, you'll love to see Votto, those dingers, as they're making a push for the playoffs. The NL is crazy.
It is, Joe. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on there. In all sorts of divisions. I mean, you have with the West, you know, the 3-headed dragon, the Padres, Giants, and Dodgers, of course. The East, everyone's terrible and nobody wants to win. All over the place, Joe. You've got crazy stories going along here. As well as here tonight in this race, Zach Rogers has definitely been the fastest truck tonight. But KJ's had some great restarts, and we'll see if he can give him a run for his money here.
AJ's been throwing a good change up here tonight, but Rogers, that fastball that's coming out of his hand, it's just absolute. He's dealing heat right now in that 9 truck.
High heat, indeed.
Love the StatCast era. So who's our control car? Truck.
I believe it's Zach Rogers.
Okay.
Yeah, he came off pit road first, so he should be the leader here.
I think it might be KJ on the outside. He's... I don't know, Tommy. I'm confused. You know when I'm not confused?
What's that, Joe?
When we get ready to go back, green flag racing here from Watkins Glen. The field coming to lap 20 of 36. Down and away we go. Green flag once again.
Well, either way, side by side into turn 1 once again. Nobody with an advantage just yet. Using the outside line, KJ is able to break later, but Zach Rogers has the preferred line on the inside. They're still, once again, side by side, heading into the S's again.
This is where KJ was able to get the pass to work last time on the restart. It's not going to stick this time. Rogers clears him for the lead up the hill.
KJ got awfully loose there in that right-hander to begin the S's. Kind of slid out a little bit, lost some momentum. That allowed Rogers to clear him. And now Rogers is going to look to set sail.
Come sail away, come sail away, come sail away with me.
If you're the leader, you don't want anyone sailing away with you. You just want to be yourself out there. I can tell you that from experience.
You don't want your team to come with you?
Oh, they can be there. Just, maybe.
Like 20 feet back?
Yeah, it's, motorsport social distance behind, I guess. I don't know. This time by Joe, 16 laps to go in the race. We're over halfway now. We think these drivers are going to be able to make it on fuel till the end semi-comfortably. The calculations say they should, but if I know anything about calculators, well, they're usually right as long as you put in the right inputs. And who knows if we got the right inputs.
Always comes down to that human error, doesn't it?
It sure does.
Guy that hasn't really made any errors tonight's our leader, Zach Rogers. Out front right now. What were you going to say, Tommy?
Well, I'll tell you what here, Greg Lovell in the 088, we got problems in the backstretch.
We go into the outside Armco barrier. He gets it back going. That is an Armco, right?
That is, and he kind of got helped by it there just to keep that truck straight. Quite the big moment on there.
Oh, and truck
we got
around.
one problem.
Lovell into the outside wall. Caution going to be displayed. The log jam there, and I think this gets everyone into the window to make it the end comfortable.
Absolutely. I'm pitting here no matter what.
Goodness.
I'm coming down because I know that I'll be able to make it on fuel at this point.
Watch this hit. Chevy Chase. Bam! Oh my goodness.
That was quite the hard hit. And Joe, I was just about to say the great job Lovell's done this race to hang there in third. Oh man, and then quite the hard hit right there. Oof. That's a hard place to get hit too, because you got guys coming out of that bus stop at a high rate of speed. They're not looking to slow down. They're not expecting a truck to be there.
That takes you out of contention, because that's a heavy hit. Moderate damage. Truck looks okay.
No doubt, a bit of repairs to do after that one. Man, and I'll tell you what, it almost looked like the 96 didn't really slow down that much. It just seems like he was on the gas. Incident happened, and, well, I don't know, maybe the brake line were severed before the race, and he didn't know it because, man, just kind of straight lined right there.
Ouch. People getting takers this time down the pit lane.
I would come in playing armchair crew chief again. I would come in here I know I'm safe on fuel to the end at that point, and you can never bank on yellows. We've had some at different times, certainly, but I don't know. I think I would come on in and be safe here.
Yeah. You ain't safe, you're sorry. That's the phrase, right?
Oh, I don't know. It's funny you say that because I heard that a phrase similar to that very, very recently, today, in fact, just a couple hours ago. But I can't remember exactly what it was. But it's awfully similar to that.
Hmm. People use "I'm sorry" too often. Gotta have a better apology. We're not apologizing for all the content, though, we're producing here on JTN. This year, upcoming races presented by our friends at TWB Technologies. Together we are better. We're back at it tomorrow night, 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Bomb Squad Cup Series right here at Watkins Glen. It'll be me and Ricky up in the booth. Ricky and I. Not an English major. Then the Bomb Squad Xfinity National Series on Friday night, 9:05 p.m. Eastern. I know I'm going to be here. Coverage, again, 9:05 right here at Watkins Glen on the JTN YouTube. Then next Thursday, Bomb Squad Cup action from Indianapolis Motor Speedway around that oval, 9:05 p.m. Eastern for that one. Then we're going to take the week off for Michigan. And we'll come back August the 26th, the Bomb Squad Cup Series from Daytona, regular season finale there. And then the playoffs, chase, whatever it may be, whatever you want to call it, September the 2nd at Darlington. All those races, of course, live only on JTN.
Hallelujah, Joe, that listen to me. Everybody coming down pit road.
Gotta make you feel good, right?
Absolutely. And not only are you going to have a full tank of gas, but also fresh tires as well. Everybody here at this point, almost like a reset here. There's just north of 10 laps to go when we go back green again. Going to be taking the green on lap 24 of 36. So coming to the final third of this race here.
Into final third. Zach Rogers, KJ, and then Silver Bullet, your first three off the pit lane.
How about the recovery for Silver Bullet? Had some problems there
Oh, he's
earlier
sped.
on. Oh, no. Well, just as I was saying, what a nice recovery he had. He's got to do it again. Boy, and that can be a herder. We talked about at the top of the show, Joe. Mistakes early you can come back from. Mistakes late, well, then things get a little bit more difficult.
Once that TWB 10 to go is kind of creeping into the... That's when you know you can't make any more mistakes. Tommy, you know what I like to collect?
What's that?
Diecast cars. You know where I get all my diecast cars?
Well, where is that, Joe? I heard there's some good deals out there for them.
There are. I always get my diecast cars from our friends at CircleBdiecast.com. Folks, they're your home for all of your racing merchandise needs. Use code JTN at checkout for free shipping on your order of $20 or more. That also helps support us on JTN when you use that code. Again, CircleBdiecast.com, your home for all your diecast needs. NASCAR, IndyCar, and much, much more. CircleBdiecast.com, code JTN at checkout for free shipping on your order of $20 or more. Got some really cool Sam Bass posters on there, too. I know I have a few. Really enjoy them. But a bunch of great stuff there, CircleBdiecast.com. You also got it linked in the description below. If you want JTN merch, you go to the JTN merch store. Now that's where you're really helping support us here on JTN, but I digress. Best way to support us is to make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Can't thank you guys enough for tuning in here tonight. Can't thank Zach Rogers, our leader, enough for helping us put on this show, bringing us out here to the Watkins Glen International Road Course, and he's putting on a show for his hometown crowd, or home track crowd. I'm going to start The number 1 here on the restart. KJ to the outside. Terry Scott, Chevy Chase, row number 2, row 3, Nelly. Monty Keller, Nelly up inside the top 5. Magoo and Eli, 114 in the 114 in row number 4. Rounding out your top 10 is going to be Furco and Brain Fade, then Greg Lovell and Silver Bullet. Round out your field of 12 that remain from our 14. Pace truck makes its way down the pit lane, and we get ready to go back green flag racing here from Watkins Glen. Down into the restart zone we go. Green flag, we're back underway here.
Well, once again, a good start for KJ on the outside, but through turn 1, the advantage all to Zach Rogers there, and now that he's in the lead, Joe, you got to work really hard to catch him. Nothing so far has worked for these guys.
Greg Lovell out in the grass. He's around through the S's. Caution going to be displayed. And you
Going
saw
bad to worse for Lovell, excuse me.
Here's where he played. Maybe some suspension damage there on the left side. Got him out into that grass. Speaking of suspension of disbelief. So Zach Rogers, he'll get to pace the field a couple more times here. Everybody good to go on fuel, folks. So now you got what you got.
Yeah, at this point, Joe, I don't foresee anybody pitting anytime, whether at the back, at the front. I think at this point, if you did pit, not too much advantage to the end. As I say that, 2 takers down pit road.
I don't think pit lane was open. Yeah, it wasn't.
Eli and Furco did come down, so we'll have to see. I'm not sure if that was on purpose or they had to, but either way, and some contact on pit road too.
Remember, if you want to check out the Bomb Squad Racing League, you can find their link in the description below, where you can find more information about how to sign up. Racing Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, as well as Super Speedway Saturdays, all here at the Bomb Squad Racing League. You can find, again, that link in the description below. The guy that's been the man all night long here has been Zach Rogers. Felt really confident about his chances here tonight at Watkins Glen. Really loves this track, and, well, you're seeing that as he's in the lead right now. But KJ's got something for him. I think KJ might have something, a little something up his sleeve that he's saving for a late race restart. He's done it before on the outside. He'll have to try to do it again, because I don't see Rogers giving up the inside down into turn 1 at all for the rest of this race.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be his best chance, and like you said, he's done it before, so it's possible, but you know, if he does get out there, he's got to stay up there, and so far, what's going to mean not making any mistakes like we saw the last time he was out in front of Zach Rogers. Don't make it easy for him. Make it hard.
Make it hard.
Well, the pace truck light's still on, so it looks like we're going to be going around again.
Yeah, this is our first caution lap. We're going to have 2 here.
When we restart, I think we're going to be at about 10 laps to go exactly, Joe. So that's going to be an important restart for numerous reasons.
I think you're going to have something on that restart, huh?
Just a few.
KJ writing in chat. Car won't go for a few laps. So what that means, folks, he's going to have to kind of keep close. He wants to be all over the tailgate of that 9 of Rogers. Sure, within striking distance. Now, Got a lap. You got a couple of hard corners on those tires. Maybe that helps here on the restart. But still going to be a tall task to get around that 9.
Yeah, hearing what KJ is saying there, he needs this thing to go green to the end. You know, we saw a longer green flag run earlier in this race. Since then, we've had spats of yellows, and that's not very conducive to winning this race when you get a long run car, or in this case, truck.
One taker down pit road. It's brain fade in the 49.
Watkins Glen, Joe, in the Finger Lakes region of New York. I mentioned that I've been here before. It is quite the nice area. Have you been to upstate New York before?
I haven't.
I'll tell you, it is quite lovely. And I don't know what kind of weather they have in the winter. Obviously, it's the Northeast, so it's, I'm sure, very snowy, but no, it's a pretty nice place, I gotta say.
Is it?
As you can see, well, yeah, you can
like
see all
lakes?
this green grass and trees everywhere. Lakes are cool. I dig lakes. I mean, you've got some big lakes around you, but you know,
You can't go.
these are smaller lakes.
You can't go more than a mile in Michigan and not run into running water. Like creeks and rivers and lakes. Can't go more than a mile.
Here's a question for you, Joe. Pontiac,
Yes.
Michigan. You ever been to Pontiac,
I
Michigan?
have.
Oh, that's terrific. How is it?
It's a city.
Yeah, that doesn't tell me anything good, and that's okay. It's just going to be a city on the rebound, that's all.
Yep. Was there a story there?
No, not really. I just wanted to know.
Yeah. There's a good like army surplus store there. A couple pawn shops.
What about a Pontiac surplus store?
No.
Are they just giving away Pontiacs there? Because
No.
if that's the case, I'm going there immediately.
I wish they did that in Plymouth, let me tell you.
Well, the pace truck lights are out again, and this time we will be going green with 10 laps to go. And it's going to be quite the restart, and an important restart for KJ, who has had good restarts all night long.
Right.
If he can get a good jump this time, get around the outside of Zach Rogers in 1, like he has done before, that's going to give him a good opportunity, especially if we get a long run, to steal the win away.
And he wants to see this thing go green to the end, right? He said as much. You also, anytime you get a caution, you're losing 2 laps and some change depending on where you are on the track. This last one, the caution came out super early in the lap. We lost 3 laps to the caution, right? That's 3 laps. That's 33 opportunities to make a pass, so that you lost in that 1 lap. So you don't want to lose any more to caution. So if you're KJ, if you're Terry Scott there, Chevy Chase, you're hoping that this thing goes clean and green to the end, because it's going to give you the best opportunity to have a good finish coming down to the end of this one. That's your top 4. Monty, Keller, and Nelly make up row number 3. And it's Magoo, Silver, Bullet, Brain Fade, Eli, and Greg Lovell. Furco's still out there, and did he pull it behind the wall?
Looks like he pulled it down behind the wall, Joe.
No, unfortunate. And Eli coming down the pit lane as well. Come down into our restart zone. We're going to get 10 to go here on JTN. Zach Rogers with control, down and away we go. Green flag once again from Watkins Glen.
Well, that time, probably the best restart from Zach Rogers that we've seen tonight, and that's crucial. Here we go, big braking zone into 1, side by side, really close through the center of the corner there. Rogers maintains the lead. KJ slides right in front of Chevy Chase. Here we come up through the S's, and it is the TWB 10 to go. Folks, from Porsches to patios and more, for all of your outdoor lighting needs, visit GardenLightsDirect.com to get great outdoor lights at great a great outdoor price. Yeah, that's your GW10 to go, guys. GardenLightStreak.com. Thank you for the support here on the broadcast. These guys are flying through the S's, Joe.
They are a lot of dust getting kicked up right now on the exit of the S's.
Oh, yeah. Now at 5 laps to go, it's going to be if there's a caution, we're going to be racing back to the finish. And with no lucky dog to go at that point, too, everybody is on the lead lap, but just in case anyone were to lose a lap, they would not get their lap back. But 9 laps to go for the moment. Up front now, Zach Rogers still leads the way. AJ behind him, trying to get back up towards the front.
And he just wants to be within a distance where he can make a hard charge down into the corner, right? He doesn't necessarily have to be right all over the tailgate. He just has to have a chance to try to make a move here late in the going.
Yeah, you got to keep yourself close. And again, if you put pressure on Rogers or any guy in front of you for these guys deeper in the field, you can fill up their mirror, make sure they know you're there. They're going to take their eyes off the road. They're going to be thinking about you more, and that just helps your chances of them making a mistake. Speaking of mistakes, way wide for KJ through the bus stop right there.
That was a big mistake for that Wrangler Chevy. He lost a lot of time, and he's still losing time, trying to get that momentum back. For single file all throughout the field, everyone keeping it nice and clean. I'm watching this 9 truck, man. He is slinging it through these corners right now.
Oh, he certainly is, and it's got to be on that ragged edge. But sometimes he's got a good advantage here. Sometimes you gotta know when to just back it up a little bit, see what happens.
I think of another guy that drove the 9, has driven the 9 for the last couple of years in the NASCAR Cup Series, that was able to win a championship by kind of taking that advice, Tommy, kind of calming it down a little bit, making sure you get to the end, don't overdrive the stuff, don't put yourself in bad situations where you get caught up in other stuff, people's stuff. Zach Rogers doing a great job of that here tonight.
Certainly, he certainly is. That advantage, in fact, growing ever more by almost a second that lap. In fact, he just did his best lap of the race, a 1:12.498. And Joe, to compare that to our qualifying times, that's almost the pole lap he ran. So he's running qualifying times out here.
I was going to say, I don't think the rest of the field wanted to hear you say that.
No, absolutely not.
He is, oh my goodness, stop doing that, Zach. Holy. He is dirt tracking it through turn 9. Or turn 10, rather. I think I called it 9 earlier. Whoops.
That time by 1:12.5 for Zach Rogers and a 1:12.6 for KJ. The times that time were pretty even, Joe. We know KJ has a better long run setup underneath of him. We think if this goes green to the end, there might be a chance, but it's still a 2-second gap. He's going to have a lot of work to do, and only about 6.5 laps to do it.
You just want a chance right now, right, Tommy? You just want that opportunity. I think Rogers is going to have to make a mistake for KJ to have that chance.
Yeah, I was just watching Rogers through the carousel right there. Yeah, it looked like he was getting a little bit loose there. Loose is fast. You want the truck to turn. But, it's concerning. You don't want to overdrive it, especially with how good of a run he's had so far. I don't think there's any doubt in anybody's mind that he's been the class of the field all night long. I just hope he can make it to the end.
6 laps to go this time, and Rogers with the lead about, what is that, 1.5 seconds over KJ, 2 seconds over KJ.
And that time gained 2 more tenths on him, too.
That is tough.
That's good news for Zach Rogers up front. Bad news for KJ. If he wants to go, he's got to go now, because time is winding down.
The more time you lose, the more opportunities you lose to make up time, right? Sounds counterintuitive. It sounds like a no-duh statement, but this road course racing, it's a lot more about momentum and not necessarily with the truck but with the driver, right, you kind of have to get into a rhythm on these road courses.
Yeah, definitely. You know, there's short tracks that are rhythm tracks, places like Bristol especially, but road courses are also much in the same way. You just get in a groove sometimes. You almost don't think about what you're doing. You're just driving, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And when you're in the zone like that, that's usually when you're the fastest. You just can't get too comfortable and make any mistakes.
Nah, why would you make a mistake? 5 to go this time at the line. Now we're racing back. Zach Rogers pulling a steady wheel right now, just keeping that truck underneath him. That's all he's got to do to kind of etch his name on the trophy here at the end of the night. Out to a 2.5 second lead. AJ's doing everything he can. See him kicking some up. He is hacking those curbs in the bus stop. That's the best place to make up some ground. Just not enough. I can't make up enough through there. Sometimes if you overdrive it too much, then you run into the issue of wrecking. Around back, regular level all over the tailgate. It's Harry Scott for position. See that battle. Silver Bullet closing in on these guys. Scott washes wide. He's going to have that preferred line down into turn 11. Level, though, going to try to cut underneath them down the front straightaway.
Yeah, this is definitely your best battle on the track for sure here, Terry Scott and Greg Lovell.
Down into one level. Looks like he's going to trying to outbrake him just to gain some time, but Scott goes way off the track. That's going to allow Lovell to get on by. Silver Bullet with a bunch of momentum. He has to kind of hit the brakes to make sure he doesn't run over the 66.
Yeah, Scott just kind of did a little bit of defensive driving right there, taking that line away, any opportunity the Silver Bullet might have had to get around him. And but meanwhile, Greg Lovell taking advantage of that opportunity, shooting on through, back up to 6th place.
Good rebound for that 088 team. Go back to the leader, though, Zach Rogers. He continues to extend his lead here at Watkins Glen. 3 laps to go this time at the line.
At this point, Joe, like we said, racing back, if a caution were to come out, it's still possible that we would finish this under green if that were to happen, if we get a very quick yellow. I don't know. We'll see. I think one more lap around this place, and no matter what happens, Zach Rogers is going to get it, whatever flag flies next, as long as he can make it around here without any issue.
Can't make a mistake. Can't overdrive it. Just take it easy. Telling the driver that number 9 right now, if you're the crew chief, you just... It's okay, you can back it down, you have room. If you do make a mistake, you have some room too, so don't panic. I think that's something we don't talk about enough, that when you make that mistake, you can't panic, because that's when you start... You know, you make another mistake, and you make another mistake, and then it snowballs down the hill, and if you're Rogers, you have a little room to play with if you do make a mistake, but also, if you back the pace down, you're gonna reduce the chance that you make a major mistake that could take you out of victory lane.
Two laps to go for Zach Rogers across the stripe. And he's got a 3-second gap back to KJ. KJ has been close in lap times, and that's something to be said, because you know the gap back to 3rd place from our leader is 13.5 seconds. So KJ's there with lap times. He's pretty close, but just not quite enough to be with Zach Rogers and to catch him. And oh man, I mean the clinic being put on by Rogers. Had this race gone green for its majority, I think the gap would be even bigger, Joe.
Would it be one of those Brandon Hawken lap the entire field type of runs? Here,
maybe
Watkins
not
Glen?
that far, but we get close.
Second to last time down the middle straightaway here. Down the chute. This is that corner that I think, yeah, I don't want to dirt track it like he's doing right now. Zach Rogers, he comes off of the final turn for the second to last time. Running his line at the line. He's going to see the white flag displayed one final time here from Watkins Glen.
Rogers that time still within a couple of tenths of his best lap of the race. Still down in the 112 bracket of lap times. Incredible pace he's shown. KJ did not have a good lap. Looks like he might have had a mistake because he really fell back now. Gap 10 seconds to second place.
He's having some issues. The truck keeps falling down into the ground.
Yeah, just kind of one last attempt to give it all you have to maybe catch a little bit, hope for a mistake, but it's almost all said and done for. Zach Rogers, dominant in practice and happy hour. When it mattered, he laid down an absolute hitter in qualifying to take the pole. And tonight, Joe, much the same in the race. He's led the most laps starting from the front. He's been there pretty much all night long. Zach Rogers done a great job so far.
Comes into the final corner, Tommy. Zach Rogers, he's got a lot of fans here. Hometown hero coming off of the final corner. He sees the checkered flag. Zach Rogers wins here at Watkins Glen.
Well, a fantastic win for the hometown driver, Joe. I know how much it means to win at tracks like Sonoma or Fontana for me, and I'm sure he's feeling the same way here tonight.
There you see second place KJ, Chevy Chase, Magoo. Magoo was charging hard there at the end of that one. There's the rest of the field coming up over the hill. We're going to move on to our post-race coverage here momentarily. We'll talk with our podium finishers. Tommy, I know you're going to have a lot of great questions.
Yeah, and there's a lot of great racing out here tonight. Saw some cautions early on, but boy, that last run with all that green flag racing, we really saw these drivers stretch their legs, use all the horsepower to their advantage. And man, Zach Rogers, great job for him tonight.
And he's going to look to do it again tomorrow night in the Cup Series again, folks. We're back at you here from Watkins Glen tomorrow night, 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Coverage of the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series presented by Voiles Trucking. You're going to want to make sure you tune into that one. Hit the subscribe button. Be notified anytime we go live here on JTN. Rogers leaving. Out here goes for the entire lap around this walk. Of course, back to the start-finish line where he give his checkered flag and probably kick a little smoke up. Burn it down, Zach Rogers, winner here at Watkins Glen. Just don't hit the wall. Always love to see that Everham 9.
Oh yeah, it's like we said, that number 9 at these road courses, especially Watkins Glen, something about it.
Something about Watkins. Something in the water. And a special thanks to Zach Rogers for helping put on the show here tonight. Bringing us out here to Watkins Glen. Showing us around the town. To our post-race coverage. We'll get those results on your screen momentarily. We'll talk with our top 3 drivers here tonight. This one. Gotta get some little filler music right now. I think that would.
If we had some ads to play, that's what they do in real life.
I mean, JoeTowNetwork, gmail.com. Let's go ahead. Let's bring up. Want to bring up? Which way you want to go? You want to last to first, first to last?
Let's do first to last. Let's get Zach Rogers in here and congratulate him on his win tonight.
Well, there he is. We picked you first, Zach. I mean, first tonight, dominant tonight, 28 laps led. That's got to feel good at the home track.
Yeah, it was great. Well, it's not really a home track, but it's close.
Did I get that wrong?
New Hampshire would be my home track, not New York.
Well, but hey, New York's pretty cool, right? I mean, Watkins Glen, I mean...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I love it.
Would you rather this be your home track?
As long as I don't have to be a New York sports fan.
Nope. Don't have to do it. Zach, talk about what makes Watkins Glen. I mean, you were very, very confident, obviously, in your setup in your truck here tonight. Confident in your driving abilities. Why does Watkins Glen mesh so well with you?
Man, I don't really know. The road racing in general just seems to mesh with me since about 2-3 years ago. It just I wasn't always the greatest road racer, and for like 3 years now, it's the best track type that I run at. I put in the time. I spent time on this setup. I've had this setup for 3 years. This won me a crucial playoff race in another league about 3 years ago, and that helped me win a championship over there. But Watkins Glen, I don't know, man. I just love this place.
Well, the hard work definitely showed itself tonight. Obviously, winning the pole by a large margin, leading the most laps here tonight. And after a restart, you looked pretty much untouchable. You kind of cruised away to the victory here tonight. Is there anything in those last couple laps you're trying to focus on, make sure you don't make any mistakes? I mean, what's the mindset like when you've come all that way, dominant, and you just want to finish this thing out?
Oh, KJ, I knew KJ was going to be fast when he came out tonight, and KJ had me on edge that whole last run. Even though I was inching away from him, I was pushing it as hard as I could push it without wrecking it. And once I got about a 2.5 second lead, I relaxed just a little bit, but I knew that the slightest mistake would let him catch right back up. So yeah, I just dialed in the focus. Just have to hit every corner here right. Bus stop is like one of the big places you can make a mistake. Same thing with turn one. If you overshoot turn one, you can really mess yourself up there going over that curb. So yeah, I tried to focus as much as I could there at the end.
I don't know how you call the way you were driving at the end, because you were driving like a madman out there all throughout the race, Zach. I don't know how you could say. Did you really back it down? I mean, come on. You were wheeling it out there, wheeling and dealing.
I mean, I won't deny that I ran my fastest lap of the race, the lap after the restart, which was about a 1:12.4 something.
Yep.
Which is about what I could run with this setup in practice. Anyway, Q setup, I could get around a 2 or a 1. I only ran a 3 in Q, but you can get about to a 1. But yeah, no, I think my slowest lap there was probably the last lap, because I saw KJ had fallen 7 seconds behind me. Instead of just being 3 seconds back. But up until that last lap, the slowest lap I ran was like a 1:13.0, which that's pretty hauling after 10 laps on the tires.
Indeed, hauling the mail all night long, Zach. Congratulations on the victory here tonight. Thank you for bringing us out here because this was a fantastic race to cover. Before we let you go, you've been up here before, but the floor is yours. Sponsors, family, friends. Now it's time to thank them.
I want to shout out Sierra Foxtrot was on the truck wearing a Sierra Foxtrot shirt. Great T-shirts. They got great stuff besides T-shirts, but I only get the T-shirts. I want to thank KJ and Ricky and everybody, Matt, BSR, and I want to give a shout out to the greatest road course driver I've ever raced against, and that's Brandon Hawken. Wherever you are, Brandon, you the GOAT. You're who I look up to. So this one's for you too. And yeah, I can't wait to come back tomorrow night. Hopefully, get another top 3.
Feel good with that? Feel good getting parking it back in victory lane tomorrow night?
Oh, you know I want to win all 3 of them, but I'll take a top 3 in all 3 if I can get them.
Zach, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us after this one, and congratulations once again on the victory.
Thanks, guys.
Zach Rogers, driver the number 9 Dodge here tonight, victorious. Let's bring in our second place finisher, driver the 029 Wrangler Chevrolet, KJ. Now, KJ, did you have anything for him? I know you said the long run was probably where you could get Zach in that 9 truck, but did you have anything for him to really challenge?
Was probably good enough just to pace with him, to maybe make him make a mistake. But the car or the truck, whatever you want to call it, not the truck, just would not go on cold new tires. I went down to the bus stop there, and it just bottomed out really hard, and I about wrecked the thing. And I lost a lot of that time to him right there. And when you're running pretty much the same lap time as the other guy, you're really not going to catch him unless he messes up. So I started trying things, throwing it down in the corner different ways, and I could match him or run a little bit slower, but I never could find time. Just ran out of laps and one too many mistakes.
Now, road courses, where would you like them, you love them, you hate them? What's the general opinion there? The 029 camp.
I could race them all day, every day. I love slinging the car down in the corner and shifting gears and using the gears to turn the car and slow the car down. To me, that's a whole lot more fun than going in a circle. Let's put it that way.
That leads to my next question. How do you now? You know you've been really strong in the Cup Series tomorrow night. How do you take tonight's run, learn from it, and what things can you try to apply tomorrow night with the Cup race?
Don't clip the apron, turn 11. No, the Cup cars drive completely different than a truck here. You're about 2 seconds a lap faster or more in a Cup car. So you can't really go off the braking points. Setup doesn't really work. Basically, you just get lap time. Laps on the track. That's kind of the only thing you really do. You kind of learn on the corner entries, stuff like that, but you don't really take that much from a truck race here to a Cup car.
I mean, come on. That, folks at home, that just means tomorrow night's going to be even more exciting because there's nothing that they could learn from tonight to run even better.
It's
tomorrow.
A lot faster, and if you thought them slinging in the bus stop tonight was fast, just wait till tomorrow night when you sling them heavy Cup cars to there.
Dude, I hate it. I hate doing it. But KJ, congratulations on the second place run here. Before we let you go, floor's yours.
Yeah, I'll take a second, Joe, Tommy. I didn't know we were racing tonight until about 8 o'clock. I didn't really get much practice, and the setup was a little off, so I got to go work on that a little bit for Friday night. Good win to Zach. He had the best car tonight. I could pace him at times, but wasn't any faster than him. Congrats. I think Magoo or Chevy, one of them got third place. I think they had an issue with the score in there, so good run by both of them guys right there. Also want to give you, Tommy here in the booth at JTN, a shout out for sponsoring the race, not sponsor, but broadcasting the race and putting it on. I was listening to it through parts of the race, and they kind of froze up, so I got to go back and watch the parts I missed. Also want to give a shout out to all the admins at BSR for, sponsoring them, putting the league together and doing all these races and taking care of all this other junk that goes on with the league. Thanks for Zach for sponsoring. I think Zach sponsored the race tonight.
Yep.
So thanks, Zach, for sponsoring. I think he's doing Friday night also. My teammate, Matt, had a good run tonight. He had an issue on pit road. Kind of ruined his finish a little bit, but he had a good car. Ricky had an internet problem, so he just disappeared and never came back.
Nothing new there, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's Ricky, who cares? But, But yeah, I kind of got this interview all messed up tonight. So anyway, we'll try to do better tomorrow or Friday if I'm on here. So thank you guys. I will see you tomorrow night.
AJ, thank you so
Oh,
much.
hey Joe, I almost forgot. Shout out to my wife. I almost forgot. So I don't know if she was watching tonight, but just in case.
Just in case.
Yeah, just in case.
Might just go back and watch it in the morning too. You never know. Gotta be on your toes. But KJ, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us after this one. Congratulations on the second place run tonight, and good luck the rest of the week here at Watkins Glen. Now go ahead. We're gonna bring in Magoo. Magoo, did you finish third or fourth? What's the official ruling from the?
I finished fourth. Chevy's in third.
Okay, well, we're gonna talk with you because I want to talk to you. Chevy,
Yeah, he was going to have me fill in for him anyway. He had to step off to walk his dog. So yeah, I'm interviewing for Chevy. I am the fourth place finisher.
Okay, so let's talk about your night because I think you had one of the best nights out there because you stayed where you were, right? You started fifth, finished fourth, didn't have to battle. You battled back, right? Because I think there was at a point you got sent to the back.
Yeah.
How did you feel about? How did the night go? How did you feel about it?
Man, I had a really good car tonight. I had some guests in town, and we're just coming off 2 weeks off at the clubhouse. So everybody's just kind of hooking their wheel up, coming back into it, and to walk into a road course. It was pretty challenging. Man, this is one of those momentum tracks. I had a really good set. I was coming for Chevy. With 2 to go, I had a good charge at him, but coming into turn 1, I think I almost lost control and lost my momentum. Had to fight back. Just needed a couple more laps to even have a chance. Chevy was running really strong tonight. And, the lack of having an official pit stop that wasn't under yellow, that changed a lot of stuff too. So we were right on the button there at one point, and we had another yellow came out that kind of changed the whole aspect. From that point, it was track position and try to fight quick as you could,
Let's talk about that because you hit on a few really key points there. Coming back from 2 weeks where we weren't racing really we weren't racing for points really really hard like we normally do. But also road courses just have this naturally, you really like to have green flag stops. And so it was more challenging. How I'm understanding it, it was more challenging because you had those yellow flags. You didn't kind of have that opportunity to come down pit road without everyone else coming down pit road at the same time.
Yeah, that's correct. Everybody's set up, got their setups dialed in for them to run their fuel run hard and their tire wear. And you can give up some early in the race to catch some of the lead pack at the end of the race. And if you don't have that green flag cycle, your strategy never comes into play.
How are we feeling for the strategy for the rest of the week? Now we got Cup tomorrow night. Everyone seems like we're going to be going a little faster around here, and then we're back with CTS Physics Friday. How are you feeling about strategy for the rest of the week? Do you think we're going to see a similar race tomorrow, something different,
Man,
something new?
I'm really counting on some green flags, and of course I was tonight. And these were all kind of just a lax of judgment and quick time, little apron spins and little grass burnouts and stuff. But you're right that we are going to be carrying a lot more speed tonight in the Cup cars. But it's a great group of guys. We'll have the server up early tomorrow to give everybody a chance to get a lot of practice in. And it was a pretty good field, a good turnout for a road course. I expect a little better tomorrow night. And I really expect some green flag runs tomorrow night.
Love to hear, because then you get those green flag pit stops and you just get to shake the field up like the bingo balls. You get to shake it on up. But Magoo, a great run for you here tonight. Top 5 run, finishing 4th. Before we let you go, the floor is yours. I know you got admins to thank, and real quick, want to thank you as always for helping us and bringing us out for these races too. And But the floor is yours. Floor is yours.
Well, first off, I'd like to thank JTN, Joe, you and your crew, Tommy. You guys just do an amazing job. There's no limit to y'all's ability to broadcast and make these races make not only us look good, but keep the spectators and the viewers entertained. So thank you for that. Man, the group of guys here, just to shout out, man, we're all a great group of brothers. And you're right, I do have a superb panel of admins, been with the clubhouse for a long time. But, man, we're as good as we all stand together as a clubhouse, you know, and we try to pick each other up. So I can't thank everybody enough. You know, we got a lot of support from Brian Voiles, Kathy Voiles, and Voiles Trucking. The guys pitch in, man. We just make it work. The main thing is we have a lot of fun. We have some really stiff competition. So really, man, I just thank everybody.
Magoo, we thank you for taking the time to talk with us after this one and just putting on some great races week in and week out here at Bomb Squad Racing. Congratulations on the good run tonight, and hoping for some more great runs throughout the rest of the week. Congratulations once again, and thanks for talking with us.
10-4, and thank you, Zach Rogers, paid for tonight's race. Appreciate that. Thanks, Joe.
BSR Magoo, driver of the 144, fourth place finisher here tonight. And Tommy, that's going to do it for our coverage here from Watkins Glen. I know you're heading on the plane back out west, but what a great night of racing, and we're going to see more of it throughout the rest of the week.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what you and Ricky have in the way of Cup tomorrow. Of course, these guys were talking about how that should be a whole lot of fun watching those cars sling around this place. And as it always is, Joe, a pleasure to be here and to have the opportunity to broadcast with you.
And a pleasure always to have you, and up here in the booth, Tommy. You're always great to kind of bounce everything off of each other. I think we do a good job. At least I hope we do. And can't thank it. Always a pleasure to have all the JTN fans tuning in. Can't thank you folks enough for tuning in here tonight, whether you watched live or maybe you're watching the replay. I know a lot of drivers go back and watch these, but can't thank you guys enough for all of your support here on JTN. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already done so. But that'll do it from us here on JTN. For all of us, thank you so much for watching. For Bristol, our producer, for Tommy Bordeaux, I've been Joe Twansky. Have a fantastic rest of your night, and we'll see you guys again live tomorrow night, Watkins Glen, for the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series. You're not going to want to miss it, folks. We'll see you then. Yeah, and they're going to be 3 wide coming to the checkered. Never mind, they're going to be... Oh,
an Maverick!
they're wide!
Who did that?
Turn 4 into the tri-oval. Whitehill is through the grass. It's going to be Noah Joyce winning his first career race in the Red Bull Cup Series.
All right, and they're wrecking behind them. We got cars flying everywhere. Cars upside down, but it doesn't matter. Noah Joyce has done it. He's won at Daytona in the 3 car.
Comes Musa. Musa's gonna.
Oh, he's going to use that apron.
He's gonna use the apron.
They're going to be side by side. Coming off the corner. Boy, back to the inside. It's going to be a drag race to the line. So Musa gets it.